Howdy everyone, and welcome back. So I'm out here in the garden just doing a little bit of harvesting and a little bit of maintenance, but let me ask you something. Do you like green beans? And if you do, how would you like to be able to grow green beans that are over a foot long and hundreds of them? Well, let me show you everything you need to know on how to grow green beans just like this at your home. Let's go check it out. So what I have here isn't some kind of supercharged green bean. It's not an over-fertilized green bean. What these are called Yardlong green beans. And the variety of this is Orient Wonder. And these aren't even really related to green beans. They're actually in the black-eyed pea family or the cowpea family. And that's kind of interesting to me because when I eat these, they actually taste like green beans with the flavor combination of black-eyed peas, which to me, I like better than green beans. And you can do so many things with this. Anything you could do with a green bean, you can do with these, but you just got one that's over a foot long. I love to stir fry them with a little bit of garlic or onion. But let's talk about what you need to know to grow these at home yourself. So I just wanted to show you a little bit closer look at what these yard-long beans look like on the vine. Here's the flowers. They make a beautiful little purple flower, and they will grow together in pairs a lot of times, but as you can kind of see here, they just grow on the ends of these stems here to where they're always some constantly maturing. There's some at different stages all the time. So like here we have a little bit smaller one. We have bigger ones over here. So what requirements do you need to be able to grow green beans just like this at your home? They're actually super easy to grow and have very few requirements. They need some good soil to be planted in, so after your danger of frost is really over and when it starts to warm up a bit, you plant these about 12 inches apart, and within a few days they come up, usually no problem. And the next requirement you need is good sunlight. These things love the heat, so if you live in the south like me, these things grow way better than your average green beans do in the heat. If you live in the north, they'll grow for you too, but it seems like they love the heat and lots of sunlight. And the last thing you need, and it's probably the most mandatory of all the requirements, is you gotta have something for them to crawl up. They're vining green beans, they vine heavily and they love to climb. So they're gonna try to climb everything. If you don't have anything for them to crawl up, it's gonna be really hard. And there's a really easy solution to this though, is if you don't have a fence for them to crawl up already, one of the easiest things you can do is go down to a feed store or where you have livestock equipment and get a cattle panel. They are the metal wire cattle panels and they're fairly inexpensive. They make a perfect makeshift fence for your green beans or your yard-long beans to grow up, and works magically. All you got to do is have your cattle panel and 2 T-posts on the end. Makes an awesome makeshift fence. But other than that, that's really all you need to be able to grow these. Let me tell you when to pick them because that's a very important thing you need to know. So it's really important to know when to pick yard-long beans versus regular green beans. They're not always going to be the same length as you can see, but the way to know when to tell to pick a yard-long bean is when it's about as big around widthways as a pencil, and it's not going to get much bigger than that, and you'll want to make sure it's still firm to the touch. If you let it get over mature, it's going to be kind of soft and pithy inside, and the outside skin's going to be really tough, and you're not going to want to eat it once it gets over mature. These things grow fast and you have to pick them every day. That's right, you're going to be picking beans every day off of these vines. That's just how fast they mature. There's always some growing. As you can see, there's little beans going all the time. There's bigger beans. So there's some maturing almost every day, sometimes twice a day I have to come out here and pick. But that's just great because how often can you say you get green beans picked every single day? So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you have any more questions for me on growing yard-long beans or anything you need to be able to grow them, leave those down in the comments and I'll be sure to answer those. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you can be there for when all the new videos come out. And until next time, I hope you'll join me right here on The More You Grow.